So Netflix have been on a crusade to make the best live-action anime in the world. Netflix has recently dropped their newest addition to their live-action anime pool, the $100 million plus 8-hour running live-action One Piece show. So to find out if they really did this, I decided to binge watch all 8 hours of the One Piece live action, and wow, am I tired. Hello everyone, welcome back to FraudOnTheTele. Join me today as I review and discuss all 8 hours of the One Piece live action. In this video we review it. Is it hot? Is it not? And what is the problem with the One Piece live action? So One Piece is a long-time running shonen, one of the most popular shonen anime in the world right now, that follows the story of Monkey D Luffy, a young, outgoing, kind of rash, crazy pirate, takes life kind of by the scruff of the neck and tries to live as free as possible. The story follows his journey along with his Straw Hat crew on his quest to obtain the One Piece, a treasure that has been long hidden that any pirate who obtains becomes the de facto king of the pirates. One Piece is really a show about like following your dream. It's a story about freedom, about overcoming your odds and adversities, the things in your past that hold you back, the people around you who try to hold you and make you do the things that you don't want to do, when in reality, you could be pursuing your dream. This is really kind of the main feeling, the main theme that is in One Piece, especially in our main set of characters, the Straw Hat crew. The One Piece live action kind of follows the first like around 50-ish episodes of the One Piece anime. The first major arc to our stories, where we see the kind of coming together of our entire group, this main cast of characters and their adventures as they eventually try to head their way to the Grand Line to pursue the One Piece. Now, what I have to say right off the bat is I think that Netflix has managed to capture one of the most important things when you're making a live-action anime, trying to capture the essence of the actual anime, the original work, whether it be anime or manga. I think that overall, they very much accomplished this. This One Piece show very much exudes the same kind of energy that the One Piece anime and manga really give off. This focus on freedom, this focus on a group of friends, a kind of buddy adventure-esque kind of comedy with a group of friends overcoming hardships together in pursuit of their personal dreams and trying to make their lives just better. It's a really kind of feel-good story, and you can't help but get yourself kind of lost in the relationships of these friends, of these characters on their adventures. This is where I really feel like the One Piece live action shines. It not only captures this feeling of One Piece extremely accurately, but I think they do a great job in representing a lot of the kind of diverse and over-the-top characters and really how they come across. If anything, this actually may come to a hindrance to the show, because overall, I think that the kind of side cast of characters in Nami, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, and even Kobe actually, in a lot of ways, overwhelm and really are the main source of entertainment and kind of attraction into this show at all. Literally any scene that Zoro and Sanji are in instantly make the scene like 5 times better. I think overall the cast did an amazing job in really capturing the characters, the diverse and very over-the-top characters that are One Piece. Now I need to make this clear. While I enjoy One Piece and I'm a massive weeb and anime fan, I am not the most die-hard obsessed fan over the One Piece anime. I'm sure that there were a decent amount of changes done in the One Piece live action to the straight-up story of the One Piece anime. I know a lot of scenes they took literally frame for frame from the manga, from the anime, but obviously they were going to have to change some things. Me, personally, these don't really bother me. I'm sure there's a lot of issues that hardcore One Piece fans could bring up for some of the live-action One Piece, but as far as like continuity goes and how accurate the story is to its like anime counterpart, personally, I don't really care about that. What I think, honestly, one of the main critiques that you can take away, in my opinion at least, from the One Piece live action is Luffy. What? It's the performance of Iñaki Godoy, the actor behind Luffy. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a really good actor. In fact, most of the time, I think he did a very, very good job in playing Luffy. But I'm not gonna lie, there was a number of scenes throughout the series that made me just sit there and think like, man, this guy just isn't Luffy. I don't really know what it is or how to describe it. When I think the biggest hindrances to live-action anime is the kind of cringe factor. I talked about this on our last One Piece live action video, but obviously if you've watched enough live action anime, you know that there is a lot of cringe moments. This is because that a lot of aspects of anime, whether it's the over-the-top battle scenes or the over-the-top character design, just don't translate amazingly into the live action. Now, I have to give Netflix a lot of credit here. They did an amazing job kind of translating these crazy over-the-top aspects of One Piece into the live action. I never really felt like any of the character design and the absurdity of it took me out of kind of my immersion into the story. It never felt like really over-the-top cringe. I have to give them a lot of credit. There weren't like a ton of super cringe moments that came from the One Piece live action, but you best believe there was a few. For whatever reason, there were some of these scenes whenever Iñaki, the actor behind Luffy, would just speak, or he would use this kind of gravelly voice in certain lines, and it just felt weird. It felt like he was trying too hard. It's really kind of hard to put these feelings into words. For most of the show, it felt like I was watching Luffy. I think he did a good job of portraying Luffy as a character as accurately as possible, but for whatever reason, it kind of also feels like he was very much overshadowed by the core of characters around him in his Straw Hat crew, like we said, in the actors and actresses that played Nami, Zoro, Usopp, and Sanji, even Kobe, and his story even seemed to kind of overshadow what I felt about Luffy alone in Luffy's story in the One Piece live action. I don't know if this is down to the skill of the actors surrounding Iñaki in this series, or what. What I'll also say is that I felt the same way about the villains in the series. The villains in the One Piece series are absolutely insane, and the live action did an amazing job in capturing the essence and the feeling and the kind of stage of these villains. Several episodes of this series feel like I'm watching a horror movie because the performance is so strong from the actual like bad guy, villain, antagonist characters we're seeing. Honestly, I think the actor who was the performer behind Buggy the Clown in the live action is did one of the best performances of anyone on this entire series. This guy was killing it basically for every single moment that he was on screen, in my opinion. Honestly, I couldn't help finding myself just drawn away from like the interesting character that is Luffy. You just feel like you care way more about everyone else within the series and the live action than Luffy himself. So another area about the One Piece live action that I was really curious they were gonna fuck up was the fight scenes and the special effects. Now overall, I think they did a pretty good job in implementing all of the crazy anime fight scenes as well as the crazy special effects, because we know there's a lot of characters that have weird kind of powers in One Piece, and for the most part these special effects were pretty good. Now they're spending over $100 million, so the special effects better be like super high level and super good, and for the most part they were, except for a few exceptions where it just was like, man, this is kind of cringe. There were several moments when Luffy was using his powers where it was just weird, namely the headbutt attack that he uses here. I don't know, but for whatever reason, this just felt hard to watch. As well as some of the scenes with Buggy, moving all of his body parts and out, they kind of ride the line, in my opinion, between, yeah, this is cool and done well in special effects, and also kind of not, but the overall performance of Buggy was enough for me not to really give a fuck. As well, the fight scenes as well were kind of hit and miss. Some of them are pretty good. Honestly, any fight scenes that include Zoro or Sanji are pretty good. Zoro really carries a lot of the fight scenes in this show. But for a live action series over an anime shonen, which features a lot of fight scenes, it's a shonen after all, fight scenes are extremely important. It kind of felt like the fight scenes were just overall underwhelming, especially all the Luffy fight scenes. Most of the Luffy fight scenes were kind of boring. He does a special move or two, they either land or they don't, and that's kind of it. Maybe he does a couple of dodges or a couple of flips, but like that's really it. The fight scenes aren't that actually in-depth at all, and when you compare it to all of the other fight scenes with all of the other characters. Now I understand this is difficult, but it really just felt like most of the Luffy fight scenes were just watching the special effects teams use his stretchy powers over and over again, and they were kind of boring. Now, while it may seem like I'm kind of dogging on the One Piece live action, overall, I think they did a really good job. Of course, when you factor in how much money they spent, I think it was a bit underwhelming, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, in my opinion, the 2012 Rurouni Kenshin was one of the best live actions ever, and their whole entire budget, I believe, for that film was like, what, $10 million as opposed to the $100 million coming out of One Piece. So if they're going to spend like 10 times more, it should probably be maybe close to 10 times better of a project, and it just wasn't. Overall, though, not bad. 7 out of 10. The bar is extremely low for live action anime. So as long, in my opinion, as there's not just an overwhelming amount of cringe moments in the live action, and if they do a good job of being faithful and kind of giving the same kind of homage and feeling that the anime, the original work, is supposed to give. If you can do those two things, you're pretty good in my book. The music is great, the atmosphere of the show is great, the acting is pretty damn good, and they do a good job of creating this fun buddy kind of group that you really fall in love with and really care about. Of course, in my opinion, I think that some of the side characters and the villains really overshadow the performance of our main character here, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it was pretty solid. Is it the best live action ever, though? No. Overall, I think that the 2012 Rurouni Kenshin live action, maybe all of the Rurouni Kenshin live actions, obviously ignoring the fact that the creator of Rurouni Kenshin is a bad man, were better than this. As well, I would even probably say that the ingenuity of A House Husband is better than this because it's just absolutely amazing. And if we're going to technically count manga adaptations as live action adaptations, then the Korean adaptation of the movie Oldboy probably sits atop the live action throne for me. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm already seeing that the One Piece live action has created a very divisive opinions on the internet. Some people think it's good, some people think it's shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Thus is the way of the world. At the end of the day, Netflix doesn't give a fuck. They're probably going to see that they made their money back, even though they spent an insane amount, and they're probably going to make a whole nother season of the One Piece live action. And honestly, that would be pretty cool. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to see more videos like this, then please click on screen now. Hug your mother, drink your water, and as always, peace, love, Adu.